seen the Apple show Severance?
I have not.
Have you heard of it? Do you know
I've
what it's
heard the
about?
name, but I don't know what it's about.
Well, my roommates and I just started watching it, and so we've been kind of debating
Mhm.
over the central premise of the show. And
Okay.
it's about this guy that he leads this team of people at his job, and it's in the future, and it's a very like high tech company, and they have
Sure.
a confidential floor where in order to work there, you have to go through a procedure where
Oh, yeah, I've heard
um,
of this. I know what you're talking about now.
yeah, where they completely like separate your
Mhm.
mind, your like work memories versus your not working
Right.
memories. And so it's like when you walk into work in the morning, then you just instantly your mind like shuts down, and this other version of you like comes awake,
Mhm.
works there for 8 hours, and then shuts down.
Dang.
And so like perceptually you walk in and then just immediately walk back out because that part of your mind has just been shut off. But yeah, like our question is like, would you do that? Would you do that if you had the option to do it?
Okay. So, yes. Like, that's the short answer. With my jobs right now, yes.
Yeah.
The
Um, the the moral dilemma in the show is that essentially you're creating another human being basically that has no agency and is basically trapped and forced to do labor. And yeah, it's because you think about it, after like a couple months of this, the two personalities have grown so like distinct
Mhm.
and apart from what they were that it's basically an entirely different person. So like if you wanted to quit that job, is that fair to do that because you're essentially erasing an entirely separate personality from existence? Is that like the same as like a
Ooh.
euthanasia, I guess,
Ooh.
or like assisted suicide is like erasing a personality, even though it's your body, but it's in no way the same person as you.
In the show, do you get the perspective of both personalities, basically?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, you do. Yeah, but also the work personality is like starting over from scratch. Like they don't have any clue who they are. Like so they don't remember anything from before.
Hmm.
Um, and they have like no way of self-expression. Like if they decide they don't like to wear a certain color or want a haircut or something, they just have to hope their outside personality does it. It's a really interesting concept, but a lot of
Yeah.
pretty unethical, I think, the more you think about it. Even though I think everybody would say, yes, I would like to just have my brain shut off for 8 hours. But
Yeah.
I guess in that world where you're creating a whole nother personality, it's pretty unethical.
Yeah,
I would
but
not
it's still
do it.
your
I don't think, but
personality, right? Like, it's still.
no, it's well, like I guess that now it comes down to like the nature versus nurture question, like how much of who you are is shaped by your surroundings versus like what is inherently you.
Well, okay, so I shouldn't say it's your personality, but it is still you.
It's your body, but it doesn't have any of the same experiences
Like, it doesn't
or
have any
friendships or
memories?
knowledge that. No, it has no memory. I like
Oh,
it obviously knows how to function, but it
right.
like doesn't know its name, doesn't know where it's from. And
I'm gonna have to
so
watch the show.
it, it's a great show.
Y-
It's really we're only halfway through it, but it's a really good concept.
How long is it?
It's only 9 episodes so
Okay.
far, and it's only the one season. It just came out
Mhm.
last year, I think. Um, but yeah, would recommend.
Hell yeah. I'll add it to the list because I'm looking for something to binge because I've run out of things.
What else are you watching?
Well, I finished Barry finally.
Oh yeah, what do you think? Yeah, we were talking about that
Yeah.
before. What was
Um.
your thoughts? You don't sound very enthusiastic.
Okay. First thing I want to say is like I was so impressed with Bill Hader throughout the whole
Yeah,
thing.
Bill Hader was fantastic. Yeah.
Like he is an amazing actor. He's a fantastic director. I want him to have a
Mm-hmm.
long career because I just want to watch more of his stuff.
He's already talking about a bunch of movies that he wants to do.
Hell yeah.
And hopefully, he should have the funding to do now. But
My only problem with Barry was that the ending was kind of weird.
it was
wa-
very weird.
It was not a fulfilling ending, but I'm not gonna say spoilers.
Okay, yeah. I agree that I think a lot of it felt like they just thought about, what's the least likely thing the audience is going to think we're going
Right.
to do, and then went the opposite direction. But as weird and kind of unsatisfying as it was, I didn't like hate it.
Yeah.
I liked that it kept me guessing, and I think they did do like a creative, interesting route with
Right.
it. But it was, yeah, definitely odd last season. Intro thing at all, or do we
Oh
just
yeah,
want to
that's
go
a good
into it?
point. Thank you for reminding me.
I think you do it best, Anthony.
Yeah. Okay. Hello and welcome
Tony,
to
Auntie.
What? No. Are you doing it now?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I do the intro?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate it. Hello and welcome to Unqualified.
Go ahead.
Wait, no. All right. If you haven't figured this out, we're two idiots and we talk about hot takes. That's the show. That's it.
That's it. All right.
Yeah.
I guess I can
Sure.
start. Mine is, I think that Taco Bell is the best American fast food franchise. I can already see you shaking your head.
I am.
I think most people may say McDonald's, which, that I don't know. I think McDonald's is probably the classic answer, but I think Taco Bell is a better example of. I just like how they created their own genre. They're not even Mexican anymore.
They're
not American food. They have like the most changing menu. Like every other fast food place, they don't even bother changing their menu. They have the same thing year round, minus like a few seasonal things maybe. But it's just boring, and you get tired of it. But Taco Bell, you never know what's going to be on the menu when you drive up.
That is true. I feel like
you got to yeah. They're actually like trying new things.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say the Doritos taco has got to be the best invention in fast food history.
No.
Name a better one.
A quesarito.
One. Okay, so just another Taco Bell product. That's
yes,
fine.
absolutely.
That just further proves my point. Then.
No, okay.
I don't just.
Along the topic of their changing menu, I do think I've had the experience of, being a bartender. When I get off of work, it's like 2 a.m. Taco Bell's the only place open. And I have gone in there one Friday night, and then the next Friday night, they had a completely different menu.
Yep.
But they always have, like, a cravings box of some sort, and you never know what's going to be in it.
You just look at the menu, and you can see if it's what you're craving. It's not... It's not a difficult.
I crave liquid meat.
Okay. First of all, I do want to say I don't want to hear any jokes about Taco Bell makes you have to poop. That's not.
No, I wasn't.
Not original.
I wasn't making that joke. I am serious. Their meat
I'm just putting
is a liquid.
Okay, I don't know anything about that. Don't know anything about the horse meat. I'm not talking about the quality of their. Food. I'm talking more about what they represent.
When we talk about quality of food, we don't want horses brought into it. Don't tell us if they're made of horses. Just give us the slop, baby.
If it tastes like Taco Bell, I don't care what it's made of. I gotta say it's the most portable. Like if I am driving somewhere, I guess they do have the tacos are not portable themselves. But if I'm
about to bring that up.
Okay, the tacos themselves are not. But if I'm driving somewhere, I'm going to go get a burrito before I get like an open-ended sandwich that's going to spill out into my lap. So I think that's another good aspect about it. Yeah, I don't know. I've said my case. All the other places are boring. And they're fine, but they're just the same thing over and over.
No, they're better because some of them have actual food. I say that again as somebody who eats Taco Bell at least twice a month.
Okay, same.
It's not good. Again, the liquid meat, the cheese that is not cheese. I don't know what it is, but it's not cheese.
It's nacho. It's nacho cheese. That's what it is. Listen, you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting at Taco Bell. Don't act like you're surprised. I don't know.
I never said that I was going to stop getting Taco Bell because of this. Like, I get it. I know you know what to expect when you get Taco Bell, and you know to expect it to not be good.
Would you? Okay, it's just not true. Can we say that your taste? I had a note here.
Wait, no, don't bring up this.
By the way, this guy likes black licorice, so that discounts any food-related hot topics.
No.
We previously talked about how you preferred the Reese's Pieces over peanut butter cups
because they're better.
How you don't like. I feel like we've had many food-related conversations. I can't even remember them all now, but I guess that doesn't talk in favor to Taco Bell at all. I'm just trying to discount
the fact that I like Taco Bell.
You're trash talking it.
Yes, and I will continue to eat it. I don't want Taco Bell to go out of business. They perform a vital service to this country.
They do. Which one would you say? What is a better example of the quintessential American fast food?
Okay, if we're going quintessential American, I'd go with McDonald's.
Okay. But
I wouldn't say that's the best. Like, McDonald's is I don't eat McDonald's. I hate McDonald's with a passion. It's disgusting.
Okay, I like McDonald's, but Taco Bell is just it just has the spirit. McDonald's has just kind of gotten lazy, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing every time. I don't know. I guess that's safe.
Taco Bell is innovative.
Innovative. Maybe that's the best way to say what I'm attempting to say.
I mean, you're right. They do bring new things in constantly.
What do you think is the best?
Best fast food? Culver's.
Mm-hmm. Culver's?
Yeah.
I mean, Culver's is great. I wouldn't call it a fast food.
Y'all, Culver's is 100% fast food.
I don't know. I feel like that's a step higher than these other fast food places we're talking about.
Oh, so you're saying it's better? Like, it's a better fast food place?
I'll say it's better, but I don't count it in the same class. I don't count in the same class.
Would you count Five Guys as fast food?
No, because it's not fast. I had to sit there for like 30 minutes to get my food.
No, you don't.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe 30 minutes is an exaggeration, but it's definitely like the slowest of all the restaurants we've named so far.
That's true.
Yeah. I would count Five Guys and Culver's in the same category, but I would put them a step above, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, Wendy's.
Okay. If we're going with the best low-tier fast food, then yes, I would say Taco Bell.
Okay, well there we go.
No, that doesn't. But it's not the best fast food.
Okay, I rephrase to low tier fast food. That's
McKay, we've talked about this.
A meal that if you can get a full meal for $5. A full meal it's a place where you can get a full meal for $5. I'm spending like upwards of $15 to $20 when I go to Five Guys or Culver's.
You spend $15 at Culver's? How?
Okay, maybe not. I don't know. A Five Guys is insanely expensive. Culver's is also, I don't know, it's a minimum of $10.
That's true.
You can't really get a full.
But I will say,
they have no $5 cravings box. They have no value menu.
Even the quote unquote $5 craving box, it's not $5. It usually bumps up to $8 to $10.
What are you getting in there?
Just the cravings box. That's all I get.
They don't bump it. What do you mean they bump it up? It's $5 as advertised. Maybe like 50 cents more.
It's not here.
Unless you're adding stuff.
I do not add anything. I get a cravings box and a Baja Blast.
Dude, I would march back up to that counter if they charge you $8 for something that's marked as $5.
It's not. Even at our Taco Bell's, it's marked as $8.
Oh, so it's not even $5 at all.
Yeah. I actually think it might be $9, to be honest.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I know they do have like more expensive boxes, but I think our Taco Bell still has like the basic $5 box.
Oh.
So I think it also has the American spirit of taking over another culture's food and making it into something that it's not, and calling it their own.
Yeah, but
no other
you
American
said earlier
company
that Taco Bell is its own thing.
That. It is, well, no, it is its own thing, but it started with the basis of being Mexican food. But that's what I'm saying, is that it, as most American things, they took over another culture, turned it into their own thing that wasn't.
It's the American way.
It's the American way. And that is the spirit Taco Bell has.
Just like anime and colonialism.
Okay. You lost me there, but sure.
Trust me, it made sense.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay. I'm ready for your take.
Okay, so we're done with Taco Bell. We didn't establish.
I've said what I need to.
Okay.
What I need to say, unless you have something you want to add. But I think we both.
I've said my piece.
Page. We're both on the same page.
I know for whom the bell tolls, and it tolls for me.
Everyone. Are you saying you want some Taco Bell right now?
Absolutely, I want some. I'm probably going to go get Taco Bell after this.
Yeah, same. Anyways.
We shouldn't talk about food, huh?
Yeah, we do always talk about food, I feel like. But it's so subjective.
It doesn't help that we record in for me at 4 in the afternoon before I've eaten dinner.
That's true. Is it 4 o'clock your time?
About 4:30.
I was thinking it was. Okay, so I was thinking you were an hour ahead for some reason. I'm 5:30.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Anyways.
Okay, so
I'm done.
I'm trying to. I don't think I have anything else to say about Taco Bell. It's wonderful. It's horrible. You know what you're getting. You know, it's like it's like signing a contract with Satan where he doesn't try any tricks. He just tells you what he's going to do to you.
Okay, that's a little harsh, but
is it? I am not making the easy joke here, but is it, McKay?
Okay. I will say I know what you're implying.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, Taco Bell, I think, has only once made me regret because of stomach issues. Out of the hundreds of times I went, maybe people just have weak stomachs.
I do think that is. I think people have weak stomachs.
I think in general, people just can't hold their food.
That's true.
Yeah. You think about what people 100 years ago used to eat. They used to eat rocks and dirt, and now we can't even eat a burrito without running to the bathroom.
That's true. I still eat rocks and dirt. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous what we've come to.
Kids these days, they won't even take rocks and dirt.
Nope.
So, my hot take for this week is that Star Wars sucks. It should not be one of the biggest franchises in the world. It's lame.
All right.
Yep, that's it. End of the episode. Great.
That is the hottest of them all, I think, by far.
This is probably my hottest take yet.
Yeah,
but
I will agree that the recent iterations of it have not been good. But actually, no, never mind. I haven't even seen the most recent, the Disney Plus shows. I have not seen those.
So, I do want to say, when I'm making my points here, I am talking about just the movies. I haven't seen any of the TV shows.
Okay.
So, point number 1, there is not a speck of character development in all of the movies. At all. Okay. There's not a single, maybe Anakin, maybe.
What about, I was going to say, he He's a
Does
nice
he?
guy at the end.
Does he though?
First,
He turns
he,
from a whiny kid
he's
to a
a good
whiny
guy
adult
at the
with
beginning.
asthma.
Yeah, I mean that's true. But then at the very end, remember he saves him, and they have that little heartfelt moment.
That forgave
Luke and
all the genocide that Vader did, which is a great life lesson.
No, I'm just saying that there's still an arc there. There's some development there.
It's a straight line with a little bump. It's like a speed bump on his character arc.
It's a big arch because he starts off as a good guy in the prequels at the very beginning, and then he's bad, and then he starts, and then comes back and redeems himself a tiny bit.
Well, see, now the morality of this is debatable, because I personally think that the Empire were the good guys. That's a whole other debate, though.
All right. Yeah, I guess that belongs with the Nazi episode.
Oh wait, no, hold on.
Doing eventually.
So we'll get into this later. That the Sith and the Empire are the good guys. Again, we'll get into this later.
Okay,
So one, the character development. The story isn't even that good. It's the hero's journey. We've all seen it a million times. Like,
yeah,
it follows the steps exactly as in the cave step. He goes into a cave and sees a reflection, like it says in the hero's journey. Wow.
But this, you could also say, I mean, it's not that old, I guess, and the span of all of storytelling.
Yes.
But it is one of the, it is probably the first of its, like, in that kind of movie to have that kind of story. Maybe, I don't know anything about that. But, like, if you think about what were probably comparable movies back in the 70s, there was probably, I don't know enough about 70s movies, but I don't think there was really anything comparable to what Star Wars brought to the table.
Sure, and at the time it may have been revolutionary or it may have been interesting, but it's not anymore. There's 1,000 movies that do it better than Star Wars.
Okay, I don't disagree with that. That the last 3 movies were not good.
We can talk about continuity errors. Midichlorians, what's up with that? They weren't in the originals. Anybody could be a Jedi in the originals. Now it's genetic and you gotta be special? What is this teaching kids?
Wait, sorry, say that again. Oh, no, I see what you're saying. That, that you had to be born. You're born with it. And if you're not born with it, then you can't.
Tough luck, baby.
Yep. Well, maybe I think that's what the kids needed to hear. Before they, grew up thinking they could use the Force and be Jedis.
I did grow up thinking I could use the Force and be a Jedi.
Until you found out the truth about the midichlorians.
Until I found a better franchise called Warhammer 40,000.
Oh boy. I know nothing. I know zilch about Warhammer 40,000.
Oh, we're gonna have an episode at some point where I just explain Warhammer to you. I want you to understand. It's gonna happen.
Is that a sci-fi?
Yes.
Isn't that video games?
No, so it's a tabletop miniatures war game.
Okay, whoa.
But no. Let me.
You're comparing a tabletop miniature.
No, well, it's not just that. There's video games. Franchise? There's books. There's some animated things, which are also actually animated very well. I can't remember what one of them is called. This isn't about that right now. This is about Star Wars. Don't get me off on Warhammer.
All right. Would you say? I do agree. What do you think about if we were excluding the prequels and excluding the latest? Would you say that it, like, the original 3 trilogy belongs in, like, some of the greatest movies of all time?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
So I actually enjoy watching the prequels more than the originals.
Whoa,
I wouldn't say the prequels are better movies, but they're more fun movies.
That's, well,
because like
I feel like they're more boring.
Look at the sword fight. Like, look at the lightsaber battles. Darth Maul was one of the like the intro of Darth Maul with the lightsabers like pew, pew. That was awesome, and you know it.
I will say the isolated action scenes are of course better simply, because of the filmmaking techniques that have developed since then.
For sure.
But when I think of the prequels, I think of all of the politics where they just sit in a room and talk for hours, not hours, but I mean hours in their world,
You,
minutes on end,
you know what I
which feels
think of
forever.
when I think of the originals? Specifically episode 4,
What?
I think at the end, when Obi-Wan and Darth Vader have this, they're about to fight, right? And you think, it was his Padawan. This is good. The Master finally has to fight his Padawan. And you know what happens? Obi-Wan gives up. Obi-Wan gives up. He just stands there and gets chopped down like an absolute wuss.
I'm trying to remember. I remember that fight, and they just kind of are poking each other.
Yes, it's not good.
I can't remember what like the purpose of him doing that in the story was. I know they were people were trying to escape behind him.
Yeah.
But like, how did that really?
I'm fine with the sacrifice, but fight actually.
He knew he couldn't. It was what?
I'm fine with the sacrifice. I think that's a good story beat. But
yeah,
the fight itself was so lame.
They don't. I don't know. They didn't have the capability back then to. I don't know. I don't know if that's a fair
they could have done a sword fight.
I guess. Yeah, that's. I keep saying that I guess I have lower expectations for the action movies back then. But if you look at like
but I think comparably,
Hong Kong
like
action movies.
Yeah, but I think
they were pretty impressive.
With like, you can go back and look like at the Errol Flynn Robin Hood. It has better fight scenes it has better swordplay than all of the original Star Wars.
Also, what I think the fact that they were using lightsabers probably, like, I don't remember if I guess were they using actual props or were they stuff that they penciled in?
I'm pretty sure it was actual props.
I think that was probably a big thing about why they couldn't like go as hard as slamming into each other as hard as they could.
You don't have to go full
like
force,
glass
but
light up props.
I don't think they were glass. I think it was like a stick with reflective material on it.
I think I think you're right actually.
I think it was a bit more in depth.
I think they chose the cool factor of having these sick lightsabers, but knowing that they really couldn't do any actual combat with them.
Yeah.
I think that they had to balance that. But yeah, I will agree the action scenes are significantly better in the prequels.
Luke, terrible protagonist. He's lame. He whines. Just shut up. Just shut up, kid.
I have no connection to Luke. He is kind of a bland protagonist.
Yeah. All the characters, even like Leia's boring. Like Han Solo is the most interesting.
Han Solo is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the best one.
C-3PO is a terrible character that shouldn't exist.
It's more of just, I think, the world building element that was so exciting and new, was that it was such a creative and completely different sort of setting versus, anything else that was being made. The practical effects were pretty groundbreaking.
Sure. I love the practical effects in the originals. Like, Puppet Yoda is my favorite Yoda.
So what movies would you say do the story better? If you say, like, thousands
do, like,
of examples.
The hero's journey better?
Yeah.
Don't make me think of examples right now.
Okay.
I make completely unbased claims. Don't expect me to back it up.
I'll just cut that out. Just cut that out.
No, I'm trying to think. Personally, to be honest, I don't like the hero's journey. It's a boring.
It is very played out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like a tried and true version. Not version, story.
It's a formula.
Yeah.
But okay. I have a second point.
Go ahead, sorry.
My second reason that I think Star Wars sucks is because of the fans.
That's okay. Yeah, I can definitely get behind
the fans take these movies so damn seriously. And every time I just want to scream at them, it's a movie about space wizards.
Yep. Yeah. It does annoy me when people call it science fiction or like quote it as like the best science fiction series when I would not say it resembles science fiction at all. It's very watch fantasy.
No, okay. The only difference between science fiction and fantasy is trees and rivets.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but
So,
go ahead. Sorry, if you're going to explain what you just said.
Yeah, I am. It's so. Say you pick up, you're like looking at books, and they're science fiction and fantasy. The only thing that really differentiates these two is whether on the cover you have trees or you have rivets. If it's metallic, if there's rivets, it's science fiction. If there's trees, it's fantasy.
So my definition of science fiction is something that is exploring the concepts of, I guess I should probably think about what I would say. Like
we don't do that here. All stream of consciousness, man.
Yeah, it's looking at scientific. I don't know. I'm trying to think of examples. So there's nothing like scientifically grounded or realistic in Star Wars. It's all fantasy. It's all made up.
When but that's what science fiction is.
Not necessarily. I think it's based on, scientific principles, but then, takes it wildly out to, the furthest extremes. If you look at like Star Trek is I think what is supposedly the better version of science fiction, where they're actually, looking at concepts of wormholes or time travel or different, I don't know. There's different, it's not just random weird creatures on other planets. Like, nothing about that is science.
So you're saying Star Trek is better than Star Wars?
I'm saying it's better science fiction.
So you're saying Star Trek is better than Star Wars?
Science fiction. I
almost got him.
Allegiance. I have no allegiance to either. But if I had to choose, if I had to choose between the two franchises, considering the entirety of them both, I would choose Star Trek, I guess.
That's fair.
Just because Star Wars has so much weak content, even though I think it is good overall, but it does have so much weak stuff.
Star Trek does too, but I feel like through mass it makes up for it. Yeah.
I haven't seen most of it.
Have you seen the newest
originals
movies?
And the new movies? Yeah,
I really love Star Trek Beyond. I thought was awesome.
It was fun. I think the first one was probably my favorite of the new ones.
That's fair.
Star Trek, though, Star Trek Beyond was just like kind of a generic action version of it. I don't know.
To me, Star Trek Beyond felt the most like a Star Trek episode.
Maybe, yeah. I do need to rewatch it because it's been years. I don't even know if I've seen it since I first saw it in theaters. But
I mean, I haven't.
Yeah. Like I think that's fair. It did feel like it was a standalone adventure. People were really trashing on what's the second one, Into Darkness, but
yeah.
I haven't seen it recently, but I remember.
Well, Into Darkness more than people. It's because they brought back a character.
Of Wrath of Khan.
Yeah. Have you seen Wrath of Khan?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it.
I wouldn't. A lot of the original Star Trek is super goofy. It's not great. It's fun to watch, but it's not great.
Are you someone who enjoys campy stuff?
Yes.
Okay. I just
100%. Yes. I have watched almost all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
That's fine.
But
don't.
I think, but what am I trying to say? I think that part of the goofiness of Star Wars also, when you talk about how lame those fights are, I think that kind of goes into the charm and the camp of. I don't know if that is the same definition of camp, but I think there's a charm to how silly it looks.
But that's why I think the prequels are better. The prequels had more fun with everything they did. Yes, Jar Jar Binks is a terrible character.
I do feel like yes, Jar Jar Binks is horrible. He's worse than C-3PO.
Yes.
Can you still hear me talk right now?
Yeah.
Okay. One of my AirPods made a noise, so I don't know if it died or not. But
oh no.
Anyways, yeah. What were we saying? Oh, Jar Jar Binks is terrible.
Yeah.
And the prequels had more fun. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
I do agree with. I don't disagree with that. But I also feel like they weren't. They don't feel like the same universe as the other movies. Like, I feel they felt very different. Like, there's a very different feel if you watch the originals versus the prequels.
I think part of that
And
is because I feel like the prequels were much more marketed as kids' movies.
That could be true. Yeah, that's true. They were. I guess the originals. I don't know. I guess marketing was completely different back then too. But
I don't know.
Yeah, they
I
weren't
wasn't
necessarily
alive
made
then.
to be kids' movies. Yeah, that third one is extremely dark though. Like, if you look at like the Phantom Menace versus what's the third one, Revenge of the Sith, it's a very different tone.
It is.
Pretty. It was probably one of the earliest movies I remember like being very disturbed by as a kid. So.
And also, I enjoy laughing at the writing in them because it's not great.
Yeah, that's. I think that was my point. Is that even though a lot of it is campy and goofy and doesn't necessarily match what they were going for, it's still really fun and creative, and you can see the passion behind it. So I think that's the appeal of a lot of it.
I can see George Lucas looking for money behind it.
Yes, that's for sure. I think, and that
that could be a passion. That he can be passionate about money.
True. I guess that is his passion. But I think that in the prequels, there is still like a lot of creativity to it. I think the third trilogy was like completely, for the most part, bankrupt of artistic or interesting aspects.
Yeah.
It was.
I only saw the first and second one.
I liked. I didn't hate. What's the second one that everyone trashes on? I did not hate that. That was probably my favorite of the three. Even though I think it was what ruined the entire series of the trilogy. Ruined the trilogy because they didn't have a unified version, like a vision of it. They just brought in this random director, and then he, which I thought was like Rian Johnson's great, and I thought it's a cool movie, but a lot of the story makes no sense in the context of the other two movies.
No, which, to be fair, none of the story makes sense. Like, none of it is good writing.
It's very like formulaic writing. I don't know that any of it's like terrible.
The dialogue is bad, dude. It's bad.
I don't know. That's the thing where it's like, it's fun, goofy, silly writing. It's not. I don't know that anyone like takes it super seriously or dramatically.
They do.
Okay. I guess you're talking about the fan base. That is the problem. Because. So yeah, I don't know. I don't disagree necessarily with any of these points, but I do think Star Wars deserves respect.
No, it does not. I will spit on its grave.
Ouch. Oof.
Yeah. They're all heretics, and I serve the Emperor.
Okay. Maybe, do you want to go into that at all? Why you think...
Oh, that was a Warhammer thing. That was not...
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I can go into that if you want.
If it's Warhammer, don't go into it.
Okay.
I thought you were going to talk about how like the Star Wars bad guys were correct.
How they're the good guys?
What do you think of
okay.
Rogue One? Did you like Rogue One?
No.
You didn't like Rogue One?
I hated that movie. I thought all the characters were so boring. I didn't like any of them. Like, I didn't care when they died. They gave me no reason to care about any of them.
I mean, this is another thing where I didn't do any research. I haven't seen that movie probably since I saw it in theaters either. But I remember thinking it was awesome when I saw it. And I remember it was a very different like take. And
it was. I will give it that.
Yeah. I think a lot of when I say I like something comes from me thinking it's different.
Sure.
Than the rest. Which I guess Star Wars is not. I think that's part of your argument, is that it's not necessarily different. But I don't know. I think that's why I just like inherently did like Rogue One, just because it was different than everything else. But
I can get that.
Yeah,
I just
I
didn't
need to
think it was a
rewatch
good
that.
movie. But I
All
don't
right,
think
well, maybe
any
it
of
wasn't.
Star Wars is good movies.
All right. Fair enough.
Oh yeah, so do you want me to
I
talk
don't
about
have
how I
any
think the
counterpoints.
Empire are the good guys?
Sure. If it's
So-
Star Wars, I don't know what this Warhammer stuff is, but
Oh, again, that's a later episode. I will rant
Okay.
to you about Warhammer and it will be the entire episode, just so you know.
okay.
And I'll have a
Okay.
warning so people don't have to listen to it.
Will I get the warning,
No.
or will it? Are you just gonna spring? Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be I come into the episode and say, all right, I'm talking about Warhammer today. You don't get a
Okay.
choice.
Great. Glad to hear it.
So okay, with the Empire in Star Wars,
Yes.
one, all they were like, the Emperor Palpatine, came into power through completely legal means. He did. He
Yes.
absolutely did.
He did, but he also was, if I remember correctly, was corrupted. He wasn't. He changed his views and what he was standing for midway through. Like he
Did he?
changed from being for the people versus for power.
But he is for the people because all he wanted to do was unify the galaxy.
Okay.
That's all he
There's
wanted.
another thing. I
Just
don't remember.
peace.
I don't remember the ins and outs of his. Okay.
He just wanted
In theory,
peace.
Are you one of those people who also believes like Thanos was correct in Avengers?
Absolutely.
Okay, I figured that.
I'm really fitting into that little Nazi box, aren't I?
Yeah, as quoted from the man himself, I live in a Nazi box.
No, I'm not a Nazi. I say these things for jest to make the ha-has.
It's not working. We just think you're a Nazi.
God damn it.
Anyways,
Second,
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you think that was really his desire, or that's just what he claims? So, and he's just using that claim to get himself more power, so he can electrocute people with his fingers.
He only electrocutes people after they attack him. The Jedi came in and attacked him after he gained power rightfully and legally. And the Jedi didn't like it. The Jedi are the tyrannical government. You want to know an actual canon fact about Jedi?
I do.
If you have midichlorians and they find this out as you are a baby, they steal you from your family and don't let you talk to them ever again. They steal babies.
Did they?
And these are the good guys.
Was this a fact? Was this a fact that they like stated or showed?
This is in Star Wars. This is a canonical fact: is that they take babies.
Okay. I mean that is
true.
Not good, but
no.
You could argue that that is for the greater good of the universe because
you're sounding like a Tau Xeno scum. That's more Warhammer stuff. I'm sorry. I've been listening to a lot of Warhammer podcasts today. I am so sorry.
Warhammer, I don't want to hear it. It's not related. I'm going by your logic when you say that just having the mindset of the greater good of the universe is enough. I think that's the same mindset that they have by taking the Jedi. You want to say that the Empire did not do worse things than take babies from their mothers?
No.
The Empire probably murdered many baby and mother.
When? Name one point showed on screen where the Empire potentially murdered children. And a lot of them. I can't think of one.
Shown on screen?
No.
I guess there is 0. implied. There is at least one I can think of.
I can't think of any.
And-
That sounds like some Jedi propaganda because they hate the Empire. They hate anyone having power that's not them. If they can't control a Senate, if they can't.
Because clearly people that aren't Jedi cannot wield the power correctly. Or for
they never even gave him a shot. He got power, and Mace Windu was like, "Screw you, dude." And then he got shot out a window like a little bitch, because he was. Mace Windu is also the worst Jedi.
Whoa. He was my favorite as a child. Why is he the worst?
Oh, like, his one fight he gets on screen, he gets blasted out a window by an old man.
He was compromised. He was in a vulnerable position. I don't think that's fair that you say that just because that's the only fight that you saw.
Yeah, you mean the coup he had with the other Jedi where he decided to go kill somebody who gained power legally and through correct means?
He wasn't he wasn't, if I remember correctly, wasn't he like just apprehending the Emperor, and then he was yelling at whoever else was in the room to go get someone else, right? Wasn't that the case? He was just trying to hold him down, take him in.
No, he was trying to kill him.
If anything, I think Palpatine was resisting arrest.
It was an assassination. Why?
That's a crime right there.
Why did they need to justify? Why did they need to arrest Palpatine? Also,
I honestly don't remember. There was some reason. Something happened.
Here's another Star Wars fact.
They were sitting watching the Bubble Show, and he said something provocative to Anakin. He whispered something in his ear.
One of the reasons,
and then go ahead.
One of the reasons I chose this take is because my best friend. This is going to sound complicated. My mother's wedding gift to my best friend was to watch all of the Star Wars movies with him because he's super into it and she's never seen them. So I've watched a few of them, and I watched Phantom Menace and watched Revenge of the Sith. That scene's weird, man.
The bubble scene.
Yeah, like not just Palpatine. Like, what's going on in the bubble? You don't know.
That's their art.
Is it?
I mean, no, I don't know. That's just their art. That's what they do for fun, I guess.
Okay.
Is it any weirder than us watching a movie about a bubble scene with a bubble scene in it?
Arguably the most important scene different? In the entire series.
Yes, the bubble scene. Yeah, I really want to rewatch them now, like with you, and just have you, narrate from your perspective. Okay, this.
Oh yeah, let's Mystery Science Theater this. Let's do it. I'm in.
Yeah, that would be great. Because I am very curious now if anything you're saying has any basis in fact, or if you're just saying it.
I guess we'll have to watch it and find out. We'll see.
I guess we'll have to watch and find out.
Because I know the answer to that question. Also, do you want another fun Star Wars fact?
Sure.
Again, this is also canonical. Yoda's first name is Minch.
Minch?
Minch. His name is Minch Yoda.
Ew. I don't like that.
Me either. But it's true. You're cursed with that now. And now I refer to him exclusively as Minch.
What's that quote from The Office where it's like the Christmas episode or something where Dwight is the alternate Santa Claus and he says you can be his bestest Minch or something like that?
I've never seen The Office.
Okay. Well, I'll never forget it.
I have seen one clip of The Office and was like, this is stupid.
All right. So that could be another hot take for you, I guess.
Oh, that I hate The Office?
That's
not really that hot of a take. I know a lot of people who hate The Office.
A lot of people do hate it. I mean, it's definitely a hot take, but sure. there are people out there like you.
Yes.
Who hate it.
And I will find them and I will kill them. I can be the only one.
So your own people. I
have to be the unique one.
Okay. Yeah. I mean that's still a unique take, I think, for sure. I don't think that is
Fair.
a regular take. Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah, fair points.
10 points
I
to
think
me.
a Star
I've
Wars.
established it.
Yeah, you've established it.
I have 10 points.
I think a lot of Star Wars is not great,
Yeah.
but I think it's not bad either.
I have
Like the
heard that.
originals. I think the originals are good.
I've heard that the
And I
Clone
think there are
Wars
good
series
things
is
about
super
the prequels.
good. My girlfriend wants me to watch it, and I've been avoiding it.
Yeah, haven't seen that, but I have heard it's great. Yeah, I think overall the general consensus is that it's the best, like of all the Star Wars content.
Yeah.
So, but I couldn't speak to it. I do know I have seen like the 2D animated ones,
Me too.
and those were pretty sick.
Those were awesome. Asajj Ventress in those looked sick.
Yeah, those were cool. There was like a little DVD slip that came in with one of my lightsaber toys.
Nice.
And so I watched that a few times. Those were cool.
When I was a kid,
I don't think they're related to the like how super related to the 3D animated show.
When I was a kid and into like was first starting getting into all that sci-fi stuff because I've been a nerd my whole life. I remember grew up very religious and I was homeschooled, and there was one time my sister and I were playing Star Wars and I said something about Master Yoda, and my dad got so pissed at me about saying Master, and I'm like, okay, Dad, I'm 6. Let me swing this toy, this lightsaber toy around.
It's a little silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also grew up in a similar situation, though my parents did not ever get mad about Star Wars necessarily. But I was not allowed to watch Harry Potter.
Me either.
Yeah, I imagine.
Have you since watched them?
I have since watched all up until the last 2.
Okay.
And they're fun.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely would have liked them as a kid.
Right.
But watching them as an adult, they're, like, enjoyable, but I just don't really remember all that much from them.
Right. I'm kind of the same with that. They were fun. Like, I think they're great kids movies. I don't think Harry Potter itself deserved all the hype it got. I don't think it's as good as everyone thought it was.
I mean, I would have. I don't know. I think I would have loved it as a kid.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I would have, if I had watched it as a kid, I would have been as hyped as everyone else. But
I think part of what got Harry Potter off the ground is the fact that, it was one book a year and so many kids were basically growing up with Harry.
Yeah, that's true.
Which
I've never read the books. Knew that, but.
I've read up to Goblet of Fire.
They're pretty faithful to them, or the movies are pretty faithful to the book.
They cut some things out, but I get it. You got to cut for time or for practicality.
Yeah. I don't know. Harry Potter was good. Pirates of the Caribbean. Those were great.
Better movie than Star Wars. I would rather watch Pirates of the Caribbean any day.
Honestly, I would say the same. I don't know that I'll say it was better necessarily, but like if I was given the choice to watch one, I would definitely choose Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's right.
Yeah, the original trilogy, not the latest ones were garbage.
I have only seen the one with the mermaid.
It was not good.
No, it was not.
I was hoping you weren't saying the only of all the movies.
No. I have watched the original. I was about to say the original.
Did you know that movie is the most expensive movie of all time? Like that, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides is the most expensive movie ever made.
Really?
Yeah, and it was
and
it's
it
just
bombed?
like a trash movie that no one even remembers.
Nice.
I don't remember if it bombed or not, but yeah, it was. It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Cool.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Well, I'll take it as absolute fact, and if you're wrong, I will cry. Right here, live in front of a studio audience, which I do have because I'm a professional. and I hire people to stand here and laugh at my jokes, especially if they're not funny, because I need validation, because I'm a sensitive little boy who has self-confidence issues.
Okay. So it doesn't look like that statistic is no longer true.
Oh.
The most recent Jurassic Park is more expensive, and the most recent Star Wars is more expensive.
Oh, okay. Well, okay then. You lied to me.
Never mind.
That's fine.
But those were all. The thing is, those are all equally trash movies. They weren't even good movies.
Can't believe you lied to me. You know what? This podcast is over.